Welcome to session 5 in the Acceptance and Commitment Therapy series. In this session, I would like to continue to explore the concept of diffusion and present a few ways to diffuse from our thoughts. Just to review the rationale behind diffusion. Why is it okay to diffuse from our thoughts or unhook from our thoughts? Thoughts are basically sounds, words, stories, bits of language passing through our heads. Thoughts may or may not be true. We don't need to believe them. Thoughts are not orders, so we don't have to obey them. Thoughts may or may not be important. We pay attention only if they're helpful. Thoughts may or may not be wise. How do we decide whether a thought is helpful or unhelpful? You can ask yourself, does it help me to be the person I want to be? If I believe this thought, does it help me? Or if I pay attention to this thought, does it help me to be the person I want to be? So when you diffuse from thoughts, you learn to look at thoughts rather than from thoughts. You notice thoughts rather than becoming caught up in thoughts. You can let your thoughts come and go rather than holding on to them. The aim of diffusion is to decrease our attachment to our inner experiences, reduce the believability of thoughts, increase our ability to be present and take effective action, decrease the influence of thoughts on our behaviors and experiences. There are several YouTube videos that I recommend to learn more and practice different ways of diffusion or diffusing from your thoughts. There's the You Are Not Your Thoughts video, the Radio Doom and Gloom by Dr. Russ Harris. Seeing your way out of negative thoughts is no longer available, unfortunately. Sushi Train Metaphor by Dr. Russ Harris. Thanking Your Mind, also by Dr. Russ Harris. Stop Overthinking or Leaves on a Stream. I would recommend watching the one available on the channel called Therapy in a Nutshell. What are the different ways you can diffuse from thoughts? Just noticing, saying to yourself, I notice I'm having a thought of, or saying, there is that I'm unlovable thought, or I see you, mind catastrophizing again. Thanking the mind, you can say, thanks for the feedback, or thank you for this interesting thought when having a difficult thought. So that's kind of using humor or sarcasm. Mindful watching, looking at your thoughts with curiosity and openness. Just noticing how they come and go, flow flow without attempting to control or change them. Repeating a thought, using a silly voice when repeating thoughts out loud. Singing your thoughts in a funny tune, or repeating thoughts out loud over and over until only sound remains, or saying it slowly. Say the thought in slow motion, or writing thoughts in different fonts. Diffusion metaphors, like leaves on a stream, you can also use other diffusion metaphors like clouds, floating, or birds, so you can place your thoughts on clouds and see them float by, or birds or waves. Leaves and sticks floating down a stream, a passing parade, trains coming and going while you stand watching from the platform, a waterfall, you stand behind it, not under it. Guests entering a hotel, you can be like the doorman. You greet the guests, but you don't follow them to their rooms. Cars passing by you while you wait at the intersection. Suitcases dropping onto a conveyor belt at the airport. So you only take the luggage that belongs to you. The same way you take the thoughts that are helpful to you. People passing by you in the street, you can nod your head at them, but you don't have to stop and have a conversation. Wild horses running across the plains, you can admire them, but no need to chase them. Bubbles rising in a champagne bottle, they rise to the surface and then disappear. Fish swimming in a tank, watch them come and go. Actors on a stage, you can watch them play. You can watch the play, you don't need to get on stage and perform. Pop ups on the internet. Junk email, you can't stop it from coming in, but you don't have to read it. Text messages on your mobile phone. So in the next session, we'll talk about being present. So this is the second component in the act reflex. We've already covered opening up through expansion and diffusion. If you remember techniques to open up for expansion and diffusion, we practiced the expansion technique for emotions and we looked at diffusion as well. Thank you for staying with me so far.